In this video, I'm going to share with you some valuable tips about how to sell on Amazon FBA as a Canadian. The best Amazon marketplace to start with. I will answer your US sales tax and income tax questions. I will talk about sole prop and incorporation and when you should incorporate your business. I'll share some bookkeeping and accounting tips and how I do my own bookkeeping. I talk about US-based bank accounts and why you need one. And finally, I talk about the EIN number, why you need it and how to apply for it. This is going to be a video full of valuable tips and tutorials, so make sure you watch it until the end of this video. Welcome back. Ali Rastagari with another video about Amazon FBA. I am a Canadian-based Amazon seller from Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'm interested to know where are you from? Please leave in the comment section below. So in this channel, we talk about everything Amazon FBA, and I share valuable tips and lessons I've learned along my FBA journey. So in my last video, I shared with you my top 7 ways to get more reviews on Amazon FBA. So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you do after watching this video. I'll put it somewhere here at the end of this video on the end screen. Before we get started, do me a favor and click on the thumbs up button, letting the YouTube world know that this video here has value, and make sure you click on the subscribe button. There are a lot of valuable Amazon FBA content in this channel. Okay, without further ado, let's get into selling on Amazon.com for Canadians. Now, as a Canadian, you are allowed to sell on all of the Amazon marketplaces around the world, but if you're thinking about selling on Amazon USA or Canada, I highly recommend selling on Amazon US. Why? Because the market is 10 times bigger than Canada, which means more sales and opportunities. The fact is that Canada's population is only 38 million, while the US population is 330 million. And it is good to know that European population is 742 million. So what a successful Amazon seller do is that they usually start with Amazon USA and later they expand their business on other platforms such as Amazon Canada or European platform. A common misconception new sellers have is that you can store your inventory in Canada and sell it in the US, and that's not true. So if you want to sell in the US, you need to ship your inventory to the Amazon.com fulfillment center in the US. And if you want to sell your product on Amazon Canada, then you need to ship your inventory to the Canadian fulfillment center. In Europe, it's a little bit different. There is a program called Pan-European FBA program, PAN, that you will be able to send your inventory to one of the Amazon's fulfillment centers in just one European country, but you'll be able to sell your product with the Prime badge or 2-day shipping in the European countries. So there are 2 main advantages to selling with the Pan-European FBA. The first one is that you will sell to millions of customers with Prime badge. The second advantage is that you will save up to 50% on your fulfillment costs. Basically, you pay the local fulfillment fees in the countries where you enable Amazon to store your product. The next big question I get asked a lot is the US sales and income tax, which are very confusing. I remember in June 2019, when I first started my FBA journey, I watched more than 10 YouTube videos. I read many blogs. I created, I think, more than 15 or 20 cases with Amazon seller support. But in the next few minutes, hopefully, I'll share whatever you need to know about US taxes. So as a Canadian, whether you are a sole prop or a corporation, Amazon automatically asks you to sign a form to let the IRS know that you are a non-US resident person or company, and you pay taxes for your US income to the CRA, not to the IRS. This form is called W-8BEN, which is a certificate of foreign status for the US tax reporting for individuals, or Form W-8BENE if you're a Canadian business or corporation. So you only pay income taxes in your country to the CRA if you live in Canada, not IRS. So if you're just beginning, you can start as a sole prop, which means that you pay personal income taxes for your income, but hopefully your business grows bigger and bigger and you have thousands of dollars in sales every month, then I recommend to incorporate your business in your country, because there are lots of benefits to incorporating your business. Okay, the first benefit is that you pay less taxes on your income, because your income tax rate goes from 35 or 40% to just 15%. The second reason is that you can be the employee of your own corporation and pay yourself an income, and if you decide to approve for a mortgage to buy a property, you will get approved for a low rate mortgage. The third reason is that in Canada, once you pass $30,000 in sales, which is your Amazon total sales, not the amount of money that Amazon pays you after all the FBA expenses, then you should collect GST sales tax from your customers and pay that to CRA later. The fourth benefit, which is the main reason that you incorporate your business, is that the best way to protect your personal assets is a corporation. So a corporation can sue or get sued, but as a sole prop, if you get sued, you're responsible for unlimited liability for both your business and personal assets. So as an example, let's say that you're selling toys for kids and there's a problem with your product, something like risk of choking or electric shock happens to the kid while playing with your product. So if his father sues you as a sole prop seller or individual seller, all of your personal assets are at risk, such as your house, your car, your bank accounts. But if you're an incorporated business, at least you know that your personal assets are safe, because a customer can sue the company, not you. So here we had a few reasons why you should incorporate your business as you grow. Just a quick disclaimer that I'm not a tax advisor or an accountant. I do my own taxes and bookkeeping, so I'm just sharing how I do my own stuff. So if you have any questions from me, make sure that you leave them in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer your questions as soon as possible. So we talk about the US income tax, but what about the US sales tax? Hopefully, I have a good news for you. A huge advantage of being a Canadian seller on Amazon.com is that in USA, you shouldn't charge your customers for sales tax. So if you're a Canadian selling in the Canadian marketplace, after you exceed 30,000 Canadian dollars in sales, you should start charging your customers the GST sales tax and collect the GST sales tax from your customers. But you don't need to do that in the USA because you are a non-US resident. Now, let's talk a little bit about bookkeeping and accounting. So as a business owner, you should use an accounting software to gather all of your sales, your expenses, because first you want to see how your business is doing, how it goes, how much money you are making, and look at your income statement and profit and loss report in your accounting software. Second, at the end of the year, the government wants to see all of your expenses and receipts, those expenses, in order to make sure that you're compliant with tax rules and everything is legal, and you are not hiding any income or writing any extra expenses in your tax return. So I do my own bookkeeping and taxes by myself. I use QuickBooks Online to categorize my bank accounts. For example, if I'm paying for any subscription or shipping or like a software like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, QuickBooks automatically categorize all of them to make sure that I'm writing them as a tax write-off towards my personal income tax return. You can find a bookkeeper for a very cheap price on Fiverr.com as well, if you don't like doing bookkeeping or accounting by yourself. Now, regarding Amazon's bi-weekly statements, since there are lots of confusion and potential mistakes, I use the A2X software, which automatically imports Amazon bi-weekly statements to my QuickBooks account, which made my life a lot easier because it automatically imports and categorizes all of your Amazon expenses like inventory or like shipping or PPC ads or refunds or other expenses. So I leave their link in the description if you want to learn more or check out their website. Now let's talk about the US dollars bank accounts. So a lot of new sellers think that it is a good idea to open a US dollars account in their current RBC or TD or BMO or CIBC bank accounts in Canada. But although their accounts is in the US dollars, but what Amazon does is that they see that your bank location is in Canada. And what they do is that they pay you in Canadian dollars, regardless of if you opened a US dollars account or not. So they care about your bank location, not the bank account currency. So what you should do is that you should open a US based bank account. So I opened a bank account with BMO Harris Bank, which is based in Chicago. It has like different branches in more than I think 9 states in the US. You can call RBC Georgia as well, and they'll do it. The process is very easy. Just call them and they will help you with that. Now this is something that you should do as soon as possible, because although you can start with your current Canadian bank account, but every time Amazon deposits money to your Canadian bank account, they charge a 3% exchange rate. Another reason is that you buy your inventory from your supplier on Alibaba in the US dollars as well. So if you open a US based bank account, you save a lot of exchange rates, and generally speaking, it makes everything easier for you. Now, let's talk about EIN number or Employee Identification Number. So as a Canadian individual, if you want to sell on Amazon.com or open a US based bank account, you need to call the IRS and ask them for an EIN. So I mentioned individual, but if you're a company or incorporation, you can use your own business number and you don't have to apply for EIN. You can apply for the EIN number online as well. Just Google get an EIN, and the first link will be apply for an EIN online from the IRS website. Click on it and the application process is very easy. The purpose of getting this number is that you are going to use this number for your US taxes, but you're basically telling IRS that although you're an Amazon seller in the US, but you're a Canadian and you file and pay your taxes to the CRA in Canada, not the IRS, because simply you're not an US resident. So just a few words between me and you. If you're just beginning this journey, you don't worry about this stuff. A lot of people make these things a big deal in their mind, and the reality is that they are not a big deal. They're just some basic stuff. What happened is that they don't start their business. But as a beginner, the only thing you should do is that you should focus on your first sales and making the first $100. Just do it and don't let other people's opinions or failure stories stop you from following your goals. Amazon FBA is a huge opportunity and you should start it as soon as possible. So hopefully this video gave you a better idea of where to start. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer your questions as soon as possible. If you got value from this video, please subscribe to my channel for future Amazon FBA tips and give this video a thumbs up, letting the YouTube world know that this video here has value. So here are the videos I told you before. Make sure you watch one of these videos here. There are lots of valuable content in these videos. Make sure you click them right now so you don't miss anything. Looking forward to your success and see you in the next video.